There's no sound on it. Hey, can everybody hear us? Put a thumbs up in the chat.
Excellent.
All right, we got a thumbs up. There we go.
Welcome to the draft. Shadow Edmonton, congrats on winning the cup. But yeah, first overall, we have 5-0 goes west, the user NOL15736. As you've been seeing for a bit now, fantastic user. He's in multiple sim leagues, gets drafted high in all he goes in. Wonderful to talk to, very easygoing guy. Max earning TPE. Coming out of the Kraken, a program that really farms high-end SHL users. He's going to be a wonderful pick for the Monarchs as they further develop their young player talent pool.
Yes, and honestly, got to scout him last year, and they were a really great conversation. They've been consistently earning. They're at the top of the TPE board on the draft class. So overall, not really a surprising pick, but an amazing pick. And I hate that the audience missed our whole lead up to this pick and all the great things we were saying, and there was no mistakes in anything we said as we led up to this. It was just
we said just so much great, but yeah, we were saying there's a lot of GM players in this class, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And lots of teams have a lot of picks, and some teams don't have many, if any, picks.
Yes.
And also, yes, just a very deep class. You're going to see great players going probably in the 50s at this point. So yeah, shout out to them. All of you, really, for making this class great.
Yes, and like we said, it's back-to-back really deep classes for the SHL. The future is really bright coming up. That's kind of what led to the expansion, and it's going to be a really fun draft tonight, and really excited to see where all these rookies go.
Yeah, there's a lot of great first gens, but also just some really good recreates. I think we have multiple future Hall of Famers in the class. Ratu's player, Gorgonzola, has the potential to be one. Gordon Bombay's last player, Shino Hanada, is probably one. We have Scruff Daddy's last player, who is a definite future Hall of Famer. Maybe I'm missing somebody here. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I can't think of the top of my head. But yeah, there's just like very high-end recreate talent, as well as just some really great first gens showing up in this class.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we have our second pick in, which belongs to Texas after they traded with Atlanta to get that second pick. And before everybody couldn't hear us, you had a prediction for this second pick. Do you want to share it before you announce it?
Yeah, so my prediction was that Antique's obsession with the St. Louis second overall pick would come true. He screwed over Patrick, making the third overall pick in his class simply because he loves this tradition. I think it's been like 5 classes in a row a St. Louis player has been taken second overall, so we'll see if that continues.
And we will see, since that pick is in, once it gets transitioned over. And there it is, Rondalus Ringo Ramat, coming from the St. Louis Scarecrows, number 2 to Texas, so that tradition stays alive. 370 on the TPE, 29 million in the bank account, coming off of the 4-star Cup win with St. Louis. And just overall, Texas really, really needs some defenders after last season's draft. They loaded up on some great forwards, if I do say so myself, and now they're going after defenders, and they picked one really early in Rondalus.
I've got a theory here that Coop is just loading up on people with dad energy. He's taken you. He's got himself taking Ronnie now. He just likes having the dads in the locker room. The jokes must be just incredibly cringe.
We're going to be sponsored by New Balance white tennis shoes by the end of this, because that's all we mow our lawns in.
Hey, you've got to be wearing the New Balances for sure.
It's the best traction out in the yard. So that's our first 2 picks there. You got 5-hole goes west going to Minnesota, and then Rondalus Ringo Ramat Going to Texas now. San Francisco Pride is on the board.
This will be
Spencer's wearing.
the first San Francisco first rounder in a while, I believe. Finally coming into their pick era as they've blown up their Cup contending team, and now we'll have a bevy of picks to make a new roster with. We'll see what direction they're looking to start with in this direction.
Yep. See when it's going. So, how has we were talking about it? You've won the cup with Edmonton just now. Last week, you're just did the expansion draft. Now you're doing your first ever SHL entry draft with Madison. So, how's your week's been going?
It's been very busy. Lots of scouting conversations. I did start early and often so that I wasn't as pressed for time as we got closer to the draft. But this is where I call out Egg for being a terrible scout. He loves everyone too much, so I have to do it all myself.
Yeah.
He tried to scout 3 people and ranked all of them fives, which is the top rank on our board. So I cut him off. He's not allowed.
Well, it's easy to do that because everybody in the league is so wonderful that when you're talking to them. I could say that I haven't ranked everybody so highly when I'm doing my scouting. I've become a little bit pickier, but Egg knows what's he doing. He's getting
No, he
out there
does.
to
He
scout
doesn't have a
for you.
damn clue.
He does.
But this will bring
Don't
San
be.
Francisco's pick on the clock. They're taking Perry Fields, the user Blues, 369 TP with a massive $62 million bank from the Anchorage Armada. Blues is a longtime user, and they're the Bad Wolf, the GM of San Francisco, is also a Blues fan. So a Blues fan selecting Blues. Defense is a premium position. You'll see it's 2 of the picks so far have been defensemen, but a wonderful selection by San Francisco as they're building out that blue line to start their rebuild.
Yes, and I shared the locker room with Blues up until last week. I was able to scout him last year when he was coming up into the J. He was a great locker room fit for Anchorage. Really revitalized that locker room, which is what we were looking to do last season. And he's such a great ad, such a great person to talk to in there. He'll come in and out and being active, and when he is active, during that day, he's a blast. So I'm very excited for Blues to go to San Francisco, and I wish him well. Was hoping to end up in another locker room with him, but it just did not happen. And so that puts Nashville on the clock. So Nashville won the expansion draft lottery and was able to pick if they wanted to pick first in the expansion draft or fourth in the expansion draft. They chose to pick fourth in the expansion draft so that they could pick fourth.
This is incorrect. This was a trade up.
Oh,
to this pick.
I'm sorry. It
Yeah,
was.
so
You are
they
completely
made
right.
they traded 2 firsts and 2 seconds for a first and a second in this class. Their 86 and 87 first were part of this deal, but they are going to be bringing in from the St. Louis Scarecrows, Shio Koren, the user FlyerFan9988. Yeah, coming in from St. Louis, he was a dynamo as a first gen, fantastic in
Yes.
St. Louis. Went second overall, ironically, to St. Louis. You see, there's a theme here in the SMJHL draft. But he actually found the site by watching the SHL Tonight podcast. He had no
Really?
previous connection to the SHL, but he saw the podcast and thought, "Wow, I'm cooler than these nerds," and then joined the site. And he's been great ever since. So this is a wonderful pick. Going to the guy he saw who brought him in, Ace's team in Nashville. It's going to be a great pick to start out that team there.
Yeah, and this was a player that St. Louis actually traded up to second in the J draft last season to get him because that's how highly rated they had them on their board, and it paid off for them. So really great pick here by Nashville.
And we do
Now
the
we're up on
PWHL thing where we say historic first selection for Nashville.
historic first selection for Nashville.
This will bring us to
Now,
historic first selection for the Denver Glacier Guardians.
And I will go to my last comment of Denver won the expansion draft lottery and was able to pick either picking fourth in the expansion draft so that they could pick fifth in the entry draft, and that's how they got this pick.
There it is. That's correct.
Yes, I was just a pick early. It happens.
Also, for any Stormlight fans, their arena is called Rathalas, which is the rift in the Stormlight archives, which is a fun little nod to that, considering their logo basically has a shard blade. But I digress. At fifth overall, they'll be taking Melvin Depengu Soderberg Snooks, the user with the moose.
Yes.
Just under, a hair under 100 million, max earning TP defenseman. This is a fantastic pick to start building your blue line out with. This is a wonderful person, great user, and this render is just chef kiss. It's a moose and a penguin put together, something that goes against God and the laws of nature, I think, but we allow it here in the SHL.
Yes, and I will say nothing but nice things about this user because he is my boss in HO. So just a really great person. I'd like that bonus.
Yeah, this will bring us to pick 6 where we have a trade.
Yes.
The Cincinnati 6 historic. Well, you should probably put the Cincinnati pick on there too.
Just need to get the transition over to the trade so we can share with
you gotta. There it is. Yep, that's what we need.
There.
Yeah. So Cincinnati is trading 6th overall. What would have been historic, but no longer is, to the Hamilton Steelhawks in exchange for 10th overall, 34 overall, and 40 overall. So that's to move 4 spots up. They gave up 2 seconds at 34 and 40, and they will be on the clock at 6 overall. The Hamilton Steelhawks coming in.
Yep. So Hamilton gets that pick, and they will be on the clock. So 5 picks through. How do you think the draft's lining up here, If?
Yeah, I think teams are generally making really good picks. The obvious thing is blue line has been put at a premium. 3 defenders taken, and recreates. Have been it's only 2 recreates and 3 first gens, so a good mix there. I think is really interesting. But I don't think there's any surprises here. It's all great users, all max earning players, and just some fantastic selections.
Yep, and then we're 1 pick away from another team making a historic first.
A lot of historics here happening. But yeah, we're going to have
historics.
The Hamilton pick coming up, and they're going to take Luka Lilja, the user Retu Perkelly. I'm sure I butchered that, and I apologize, Retu. I just call you Retu. But yeah, max earning TP, 51 million in the bank. Fantastic player. I think he won. He was runner-up for an MVP or won an MVP. I can't quite remember. But yeah, fantastic user. They know they're going to get a max earner in this trade. That's why they moved up to get him. You're getting a sure thing, a great person to bring in the locker room, and a wonderful pick by Hamilton, to be sure.
Yes. Retu was a great add last season into Anchorage. Really great locker room, very active. Overall, just a great person to add to your team. Hamilton really gets something great here, and that's why they traded up for him. Overall, I'm excited to see 2 Anchorage Armada players going in that top 6 of the draft, whereas last year I believe I was the only one in the first round. So really great for Anchorage to rebound on that. And then now we have your team, the Madison Valkyries. So Hiff got to pick 2nd in the expansion draft and was able to now pick 7th in the
So we wanted the 2nd overall. We wanted the higher pick in the expansion draft. Led to us getting the lower pick here. But regardless, we were able to get the top player on my board at pick 7. So I don't really not too worried about the draft position here. We are still coming. Yeah, there it is.
The Madison set up. Go ahead.
The Madison Valkyries are pleased to select Dana Catherine Selly. The user Scruff Daddy, heading to the Madison Valkyries from the Thunder Bay Walleye. Scruff. I think he spent like 25 seasons on his last player or something ludicrous. Just a wonderful person. incredibly nerdy, which just makes him fun to talk to. He's got some great dogs. And you're getting a Max Herder who's going to build a long career and someone you can build your franchise around at pick 7. I think at most drafts that's an easy one away, and it's a testament to how deep and great this class is. But yeah, we're stoked to bring him in.
Yeah. So, and I heard that the Madison Valkyries have to give all your first rounders unlimited Culvers while they stay on the team. Is that correct?
This is a known fact. It is bribery, so we don't tell HO that, but they know anyway. They just can't do anything.
I mean, it's under the table. They have to. They have
Yeah.
to
Good luck
talk to
finding it.
the. Yeah, Culver's is never going to sell you out for it. But all the concrete mixers you get, and Butterburgers. So then that brings us up to Nashville's actual second pick here at 8. So it's no longer historic, even though it's their historically first own draft pick at 8. So we can still say it. So far, it's been about what we've expected. A lot of great users going very quick. There's still a ton left. It's going to be a very fun 3 rounds or more here watching these players move.
Yeah, like I said, there's some great talent in this class. You're getting active max earning players in the late second round, even with the expanded amount of picks. So again, it's just a testament to the depth and quality of this class. But we got Nashville on the clock to make their second pick of the draft once it's available. But yeah, so like we've had some trades so far before the draft, one during the draft. Do we have an over/under on a number of draft trades, you think, we're going to see in this class?
I'm going to say, so are we counting before or just during the draft?
Just during the draft.
Just during the draft. So I will say we'll have, let's set the over/under at 7 for no reason at all.
7. I feel like that is an apt number to choose for this class. That's a very fair
So
point.
It's just a random number that I came up with. We're just gonna go with 7.
I don't know why you would pick that number, but I think I'm going to go with 7 as well. 7 is an apt number for this.
Like that's how many we'll see. And they are Nashville's on the clock. We're waiting for that pick to come in. Nashville's been very active in the trade market, as somebody who's been approving trades. So maybe they might trade down, maybe they won't. We'll find out here in a second as the pick bell's going off.
And at pick 8, they will be selecting Greed, the user Jeffy43. Left winger, Jeffy is a wonderful user, max earning with an $80 million bank, played on the Newfoundland Berserkers, where Ace's player was. But yeah, yep. Jeffy's a great guy. He's looking to get in the Hall of Fame. His last player was excellent, won a couple cups. Maybe just one cup, actually. Gave him too much credit there. But yeah, he's a great player. His last player was a first overall pick, so you're getting a quality user, an active player, and a really friendly person in the locker room to connect with your guys. Incredible pick at 8 for Nashville here, and they're going to be stoked to walk away with him.
Yes, especially with that bank account sitting at 80 million, 362 on the TB. That's what you want to bring in. It'll be a very, very high earner and somebody that you can really build this expansion franchise around. So, had a decent season with Newfoundland. Had 44 assists. So you can't complain about that production at all coming into it. And now we are on to Buffalo's pick here at pick number 9. This will be this is BV's first draft. Became co-GM at Buffalo this season. So.
Well, the last draft she participated in, she called it a mulligan because she came on very soon. So this is her first prepared draft. And I think we're about to see a trend happening as the Buffalo Stampede select Jordan 4-4 the third. 4-4 with 370 TP and 19 million. This is our third St. Louis Scarecrow
Yep.
who's been taken, and they won the 4-star Cup this year. So it tells you just how good they've been doing. When you have three players who go in the top 10, as well as winning a cup, clearly you're developing a fantastic team in the SMJHL. So shout out to Jimmy and Toaster and formerly Cake, but no credit for Cake anymore because she left and abandoned them. So mostly just Toaster and Jimmy.
Yes, very high credit for St. Louis and what they've been able to do over the last couple seasons on getting these players in, getting them drafted into their SHL homes. Jordan 4-4 is a very solid player for St. Louis, sitting there 14 goals, 37 assists. Has a decent bank account at 19 million, which is a great start. So overall, great pick by Buffalo, who are just keep on adding those pieces. So they snuck into the playoffs, and next season they're looking to do more. And now we have a trade about to happen.
Wait, but didn't Seven just trade back to the spot?
They did, huh? That's
Another
weird.
trade?
Another trade. How would we ever know that number 7 would be there? So, as we get those trade details in, we will let you guys know. Um, so, Hiv, talk to the audience about how do you do your scouting for your expansion team? Was it any
So
different than how you did
I started just
other?
asking questions to get to know the player, but then there was a comment where they were like, "Oh, GMs are scouting so dry." So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask them a weird question off the bat, and we're just gonna see what happens. So I don't know if any of you've seen Community, but in episode 1, when Jeff is trying to hit on Britta, he asks what her deal is, and she says, "I don't like small talk." So he says, "What's your deal? And is God dead?" Uh,
So
and then
that's
she
how you
answers that
started it.
question. So I asked the players, "What's your deal? And is God dead?" And they don't like that. That's what I've learned this scouting. They only one person has liked this question.
I think it's always it's funny switching around because scouting in both. It's like you could I've scouted some of them in the J going into the J and then for Texas and just the talkative nature of it just completely switches from that first season to the second season, which is always good to see that they're enjoying the league even more to talk more on it.
Absolutely. But yeah, we have the pick ready here. The trade, apologies. The Toronto North Stars are moving up to pick 10, and they're trading pick 18 and their second rounder this season, which I believe is pick 26 off the top of my head, but I can't remember. But that's 18 plus Toronto's. No, sorry, there's 84 second. So that's their
Yes, it's
S84
an
second
84th Toronto second.
next season for pick 10, which brings Hamilton on the, Toronto on the
Toronto.
clock.
Yep. So Toronto moving up. They
Speaking of Toronto, what a garbage city. Anyone who lives there is just a garbage person.
That's spoken like somebody who lives in Ontario.
I live in Toronto. I live in
I know, but your name. It was a joke on your name. Sorry. Didn't land. Toronto, Sparky and Jay will be making this pick here to get another solid after back-to-back
So
really good
we did have a
drafts. They're looking
comment.
to build on it.
Yeah, we did have a comment. Frith is saying like I don't understand the value out of saying like what your favorite cut of sock is, but the value of like asking weird questions or random things is to let the person talk, so you can see if like you can have a conversation with them or just get to know them and be someone you can participate in a locker room with. You want to bring someone in that you want to spend time with because us GMs spend a lot of time dealing with the SHL, so we want it's a good group of people there essentially.
And now the pick is in from Toronto, and we have Emiliano El Jefe, the user more or less 89, out of St. Louis.
Hold up, I got to know
Marketing.
what that render is. That's what I need to know.
I'm not done getting into that. 353 TPE, 36 million in the bank account. Their jersey is St. Louis, but their team is listed as San Diego. So
I guess they just kind of took over. So
yeah,
unfortunately, the title no longer exists for the 83 draft. From now on, they will just be the St. Louis Scarecrows. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find this render. The last thing I do.
I'll pick it up real quick. Let's see what the render is.
Here we go. Open. This is Emiliano Zapata. Let me see who that is.
Okay.
He's a Mexican revolutionary.
Oh, nice.
Guess I don't know if he actually. Oh, there's a picture of him wearing a sombrero. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Main leader of the People's Revolution.
So they were good.
It's the inspiration for the agrarian movement called Zapatismo. The more you know.
So they were selected 41st by the San Diego title. 22 goals, 22 assists going to Toronto. So Toronto really wanted them to be able to trade up and get them.
I did scout this person.
They're
really fun to talk to. Really easygoing. Super good dude. It's a fantastic pick for Toronto. Makes complete sense to move up for him. Great person.
Which puts the Texas Renegades back on the clock. And I'll let you handle this one because I think you talked about them earlier in the episode.
Yeah, so the Texas Renegades are selecting Yu Nishinoya. It's some kind of anime render. I can't speak to it. Not going to delve into it as as I did for the other one. But that's Doroto. Doroto's friends with Puppy, who's the Montreal goalie. So, a good testament when you have a friend who's a max earner and you come in and you build up a, max earner yourself and build up a big bank account. Really friendly, easygoing dude. Again, great Texas pick and a premium position on defense. Wonderful selection at pick 11 for Texas.
Yes, we were very, very excited that they were still there at 11. Overall, great. Scouted them last season heading into the J, and they went before we were able to get them. Went to QCC, but overall, we were very, very excited to get them into Texas. Like I said, looking for more defenders to get that back end built for Texas. As last year we took a ton of forwards, and you can't go wrong picking somebody coming out of QCC because usually they're very well prepared for the SHL. And then that's going to bring us to pick 12, which is Atlanta's pick.
And if anyone's been paying attention, they'll know where this one's going.
If only.
But yeah, Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta for having been in the finals this year that had went to an overtime in Game 7 and had picked 12 and 2 in this draft. A real testament to that level of management over in Atlanta and just how great they are at, not only building a good team, but keeping it continuously competitive.
Sorry about that. I had an emergency that I had to answer on my phone. So the pick for Atlanta is in, and we'll go ahead and announce it.
So it's going to be Henri Allard Morin, the user Gordon Bombay. His render seems to be a Colorado Raptors themed ham, from what I can tell. That's all I want to delve into. I don't want to know if I'm wrong or right. Nobody tell me. But yeah, Gordon Bombay, his last player, max earning MVP level player Shoya Hanada. And he's max earning this time. It's a great pick for Atlanta as they get to continue to maintain an incredibly strong team with their flux of players that enjoy playing in Atlanta and end up going there.
Yeah, so his render is just ham. It says ham, meat.
Fair enough.
So that there was no confusion on it. They wanted to make sure that we knew that it was the meat ham is the render. So they just put a Colorado logo on it, and when Colorado's playing, there's just a ham out there skating, scoring some goals. 9 goals to be specific for the Raptors. And that's on bring us to pick 13, which is Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan, I think this is their second pick of the class. I think they have 3 first rounders, if I'm recalling correct. So lots of Manhattan picks here.
Have they picked yet? I think this is their first pick.
Oh, have they? Okay, it is their first pick. You're right. There's too much red. Look at the amount of
Yes,
red in this goddamn list.
I was actually going to ask you, when was the last time that
5 seasons
Manhattan had
ago.
made
This
an
is their first pick in
SHL?
4 seasons.
Are we?
They
This is.
currently
I
have
mean,
an empty prospect page if you look on the portal.
so are we gonna call this one historic? Since
No, it is not
it's been a.
historic, but
I think it is.
it's
I
history
haven't seen
adjacent.
it. I
History
haven't seen
adjacent.
it, so in my mind, it is historic.
But yeah, the
This
Manhattan
is
Rage are selecting one of my favorite player names of the draft, Joe Schmo. The user Matt heading to Manhattan, coming from the Nevada
yep.
Battleborn. Had a great conversation with Matt. He's a really friendly guy, going to fit in real well with Manhattan and bring some quality into that locker room. And excited to see his career develop on the Rage.
Yes. So Joe Schmo is actually on the Ratvia World Junior team right now that I am GMing, and they've been tearing it up for the Rats. He's an honorary Rat this season, so very honored to have. And I basically picked him because of the username. There is no render, unfortunately. So great job on the graphics team coming up with their own. Which brings us to pick 14. And that's going to belong to Philly.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Forge on the clock. Perennially a very strong team. The
Yep.
Forge. At 14 is honestly, this is kind of picking high for them. They're not usually selecting
Nope.
above like 18. So unique to see them up here. But we'll see what direction the city of brotherly love is going here.
Yeah, and we actually passed the halfway mark in this first round, which is different this year because 4 teams added. So we're up to 24 teams. So a little bit later on the halfway mark. Philly, I think, actually picked last season at 12. And that pick is in.
There we go. And we have, for all you Kingdom Come Deliverance fans, Henry of Skolitz, the user Evil Allbrand, heading to the Philadelphia Forge. Allbrand, another fantastic recreate who had a hell of a career, I believe, was announced in the Hall of Fame as well. Max earning TP with a large bank at 25 million. It's going to be a fantastic pick for the Forge, someone to build the franchise around at the center ice position. Great pick for Philly here.
Yes, coming out of Anchorage, I actually pulled his Hall of Fame card yesterday.
There you go.
Which was I messaged him immediately in the Anchorage locker room and told him about it and sent it over to him so he could have it. Really great user. Was very active in the Anchorage locker room. Philly's getting him back. I imagine that they're very ecstatic that he was there, and it kind of speaks even more about this draft class and how it is that he, a Hall of Fame player going 14.
Well, I think this user wanted to play in Philadelphia, is why they fell.
Oh,
sometimes, when there's a lot of good options and a player has a slight preference, GMs will respect that and just go with,
true.
Whoever's close on their board. It wasn't like they were taking a player who was significantly worse or anything. They were just kind of respecting a player's preference in this endeavor.
He just didn't go for your Culver's offer.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't like cheese curds or cheese or anything fun.
He likes cheesesteak if he's in Philly.
No, he actually doesn't. He's going to get booed at every game. He also hates the Rocky movies.
Nobody can hate the Rocky movies. We're going to get canceled for that. That's what's on fine us from HO.
That's fair. But yeah,
but
this
overall,
will bring us up next to who's on the clock next? Can't see.
I think it is. I can't see it either.
It's an orange team.
There it is. It's Los Angeles Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers on the clock. Excellent.
Yeah. Panthers on the clock, followed by Tampa Bay, and then Manhattan again. Will Manhattan make a second first round pick?
Is that legal?
I don't know. They haven't done it in a while. Do they remember how to do it? $14 picks in. Any big surprises for you, Hiff?
Yeah, the main surprise is how incredibly deep this is, because I think any of these players deserve to go in the top 5 or 10 in almost any class of late. Incredibly strong and deep. max earning TP throughout. What I remember being in the S83 class, and after pick 8, you were taking people who went on Discord like twice a month and might do activity checks. So compared to that, this is a gold mine and a great first draft to be a part of as an expansion GM.
Yes, that is very that it's really awesome to see just how many actives are in this class and overall just in SHL. I think the numbers have always been going up on the activity checks, and that's a big shout out to everybody out in the community and what this has built into. And so then we're going to go. I think that pick is in.
Yeah, at pick 15, the LA Panthers are selecting Lord Marshal Lorenzo Allstott, the user Tesla. Tesla's an absolute gem, also an ISFL user. Just incredibly friendly, really sweet, excellent to have in the locker room. I'm going to guess that Allstott comes from the fullback of the former fullback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just throwing a guess out there, but the name is fantastic. The user is great. Honestly, you can't go wrong selecting Tesla. She's going to be on your team for a long time, has a great bank, and it's just going to be a very positive presence in your locker room. So this is a great pick for LA at 15, getting an absolute gem. And next is going to bring up 16 is Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dwight on the clock. Is he scouting while making this pick? Nobody knows. Great GM, though. He built a great team in Tampa Bay who got a little on the old end now, looking to bring in some users that are a bit on the younger end, and he will be making his selection. And it's the king of bread, Roy Dupin, the user Zag. He's pumped out some great media of late. Very active, friendly guy to talk to. You got to be excited to bring in a guy like Zag. The back account's a little light, but definitely working on that with the media that came out. He's going to be a wonderful player for Tampa Bay. This is a great pick. And shout out to Dwight for getting just a gem of a user at 16.
Yeah, sometimes that bank account starts becoming really low right before the draft because of all the training increase and everything going on. And they did start cranking out the media. Everybody that's in the Detroit locker room had nothing but great things to say about this user and what they were. So Tampa Bay is getting a very, very solid player here at pick 16. I was trying to say, and I had my mic muted, that as this draft goes longer and the picks start slowing down, please put some questions in the chat so that we can have something to talk about. So me and Hiff aren't just saying the same thing back and forth to each other. Make this a little bit more entertaining. Right, Hiff?
What?
Yep. Exactly. I did. I was sitting there talking. I couldn't figure out why you kept on talking over me, and I finally looked. And went, "Oh, I'm muted."
That happens to the best of us. But I think that was a great pick by Tampa Bay, and excited to have some other stuff to talk about. However, we're moving into Manhattan territory as they're on the clock again for a second first-round pick. History adjacent. The Manhattan Rage are selecting Roy D's Rivers, the user Roy Rivers, with the Jason Momoa render. Excellent. Yep. He's a New Orleans Saints fan, big NOLA guy. Wonderful guy to talk to, brings in a lot of energy, very friendly, defense at a premium position. The Rage are getting a wonderful pick at pick 17. Great job by Manhattan making this selection.
Yes, great pick. Right out of Nevada, Battleborn. Is that the second Battleborn gone this first round, or am I mistaken?
Could be at least the second.
Yes, it is the second. The first one actually went to Manhattan as well, Joe Schmo. So they get a reunite in Manhattan. They get to go from the bright lights of Las Vegas to the city that never sleeps in Manhattan. Something like that. which is going to bring us to pick 18.
Is Manhattan like the center of New York? Where in New York is Manhattan?
Honestly, could not tell you. We're being told yes in our ears. So, yes, I was right.
Well, yeah, it's in New York, but where in New York? There's like
No,
5
I was
boroughs,
wrong,
right?
is what I'm being told in my ears.
The West Side. Okay, is that where the nerds are, or like is that where the money is? Like where is? It's an island between the island and the other island. Okay, gotcha. God
It's on
damn, leave me
Manhattan.
alone, New York.
The best comment in the chat. It's on the Manhattan Island. So
Absolutely, Manhattan is in Manhattan. It's a very valid
and
point.
and Colonel Sanders says Manhattan basically is New York. So which
But yeah,
I stick to.
That's a fair point. Cincinnati's at the clock, which means is there a trade happening?
We
Somebody
will
check for me.
let's wait and see if there's a trade. Who knows?
I honestly don't even remember at
Definitely.
this point. I'm just guessing because Cincinnati's on the clock.
7 does a great job of livening up trades, and we appreciate them. Well, we got. Want to do a big shout out to Holtz, who's running the background images, getting them up, getting them out to you guys. Just doing a fantastic job. That's why the stream was a little delayed. Is we were trying to get everything set up and right so that it is ready to go, and Holtz is killing it right now. And they said that there is no trade. And we also got an image of Manhattan,
Ludicrous.
which is the word New York is over top of it. So
perfect. So the Cincinnati six historic first selection at pick 18. They will be taking PDO Merchant, the user JBait, max earning player with almost 100 million in his bank. Getting this player at 18 seems almost ludicrous, but if there is anyone who is a master at maximizing the slightest bits of value, it is the Cincinnati 6 GM in the 7 with his co-GM Tig. This is a steal to be sure. Fantastic user. Has built one of his players, Max Manning, was a Hall of Fame level player. Played on the Winnipeg Aurora for a long time. Set the goal record, I believe, in FHM 8 for a little bit. He had a bit of a temporary player in Chaos Giraffe, which was a Tyler Myers render. If you don't know that Tyler Myers has a neck like a giraffe, but he's back and ready to kick ass on this player again, and will be a PDO merchant dominating the league. Cincinnati hopes.
yes, and the render, I love the render. It's the Vancouver Canuck that has the highest PDO at the moment. So there you go. That render will constantly be changing.
How do you have a sig for that? It's just a rotating sig of all the Vancouver players.
Just for you gotta wake up, check the stats, change the sig. That's every morning for you. Got to get into that habit.
This will bring us to pick 19 on the clock. The Nashville Sound, their third first rounder in this draft, coming up here.
Yep. I'd like to see what Ace is going to do with this pick.
And the Nashville Sound are looking at Noah and say, we're going to take Arcs, the player Mateo St. Arc. His last player was a fantastic goalie in New Orleans for a long time. Spent his career there for what seemed an eternity. Made a skater this time, a forward. Ace taking a Boston Bruins render player with the Brad Marchand render. Should surprise nobody, but a great pick. Wonderful person to talk to. Nashville's getting a lot of value out of this class with some great players.
Yes, and as a Habs fan, you should be happy that you got that wrong. That is Patrice Bergeron as the render. So congrats on getting that
Habs
wrong.
Fans will also hate me because he's Quebecois. So he
about
the stab in the street.
It's a 50-50 on that one. You get forgiveness for getting it wrong, and then you get stabbed.
I just wanted to forget he existed. Honestly, he's too good. But that'll bring us up to pick 20. Calgary back-to-back selections on the clock.
Yes. So 3 first-round picks for Nashville. They've went wing, and wing. So building up that forward core.
When you really want your team to take flight, you need a lot of wings. That's just the rule.
But they're not the Valkyries.
No. Valkyries don't need wings. They get the powers from Odin themselves, obviously. That's why they took a center.
Sorry, I missed out on the
mandatory
Valkyrie.
Norse mythology class.
Yeah, I missed it. I apologize. I had
Don't worry.
other
Just
stuff going on that day.
I'll tag Jess and she'll give it to you, whether you want it or not.
Yes, I will definitely pay attention. And the pick's in.
At pick 21, the Calgary Dragons are selecting Melon Lord, the user Tubadeus. I don't know if this is a specific animated personified horrifying watermelon or just something someone made, but it's awesome and I love it. Tuba's a big guy in the SFL. I believe he used to be an HO there. He's said SHL is his secondary league, but he's going to do everything he can here. Plays a premium position in defense and a great guy out of the locker room. Wonderful pick for Calgary as they blew up their team after losing in Game 7 to Edmonton in the conference finals with a fantastic team they had put together that was very strong for several seasons, but are now looking at the youth end again.
So I might get this completely wrong. The render is Toph as Melon Lord. And a quick Google search, because I'm not big into anime. I just haven't got into it. Nothing against it. I think it's from the last Airbender.
This just in, Patrick's a weeb. And we'll move on to pick 21 with Calgary selecting again.
Don't do that to me. So we had a comment. Rugsy said positions are a construct. Yes, that is true.
You know what I think about that?
But what else can we talk about? What else can we talk about? We got to talk about something.
Also, yes, that is Patrice Bergeron, you fucking donkey. Thank you, Ace, for the kind correction with your Boston fan nature.
I got your back, Ace, even though you're not in here. Got your back.
But at pick 21, the Calgary Dragons are selecting Charles Leclerc, the user Oblivion Walker. Backing out's pretty healthy at just under 12 million. TP is great at 347. Another winger, as we're getting past the defenseman into the forwards section of the draft. Flex will be excited to bring in a fellow Ferrari F1 fan. And Oblivion is objectively the best of the Elder Scrolls games. So a great pick for Calgary here.
That I want to know how well racing shoes handle on the ice.
I'm gonna guess not good. I'm gonna guess not good at all.
I mean, I remember watching Cool Runnings as a kid, but they didn't have racing shoes. They had spikes on. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, nobody knows. But that brings us to pick 22 with the Hamilton Steelhawks on the clock. We'll see what
We're running past my hour.
Yeah, we'll see what direction is it head of the co-GM? Hataksh and Alex are heading this time.
Yes. So
I always think him and Darth David are the same person because they say bro, and I just lump all those people together.
Well, and that Darth helps out with the draft as well, so
yeah,
that can become. The Rugsy wants you to talk about Phil Kessel. So go ahead.
Yeah, so Phil Kessel actually does not like hot dogs. I don't know if you know this, but he's not a hot dog eater.
Is he
so not? Like all the memes are just there's just the internet lying to you.
How do you feel about the word glizzy?
I don't know if I can say the the visceral reaction I have to that word on this stream. Suffice it to say, not good. The answer, not good.
I am well with you. I hate the word more than anything. And yes, being around teenagers and hearing glizzy just makes me want to pull my hair out and become like you if.
Yeah, not all of us can be so bald, alas. Hamilton might make me go bald with how long this pick is taking. Just kidding. They're going to be selecting Brita Kaduk. These are Gabriel Olivier Koivu. Gabriel Oliver Koivu. Gok.
Whatever.
I don't know if you should say the first one there, but Google that in your own time. But yeah, he's earning TPE great. 300 TPE was a waiver pickup, which is why the TPE amount is a bit lower. The bank's solid at 15 million, playing a premium position in defense. Going to be a solid pick for Hamilton, and they're going to be excited to bring him in at pick 22.
Yes, another Anchorage Armada off the board. Really great locker room presence this year in there. We had another abbreviated name that we won't be able to announce until way later, but another great user out of there. So Hamilton's really building up that back end, and I believe that is the third or fourth Anchorage player off the board here in the first round.
I know that's a
Oh,
number.
that screen does not help me.
But it does mean that pick 23 is on the clock. It is a green team. I
That
think
would be
that's
Buffalo, right?
Buffalo. New England. It's New England on the clock.
Yes.
Luke and Co. making their first pick of this draft.
Hang on, I'm gonna walk to the door. My dog is crying to be let out.
It's okay. Lime just changed his username to Glizzy Goblin in the Wisconsin chat, so that's fun. The Madison chat.
Who's streaming it so that we can boot?
Well, it's in my locker room, so I could just kick it from the locker room. It's fine.
Yeah, kick him from the locker room.
Yeah, it's coming.
Glizzy Goblin does not need to be in the locker room.
Glizzy Goblin doesn't need to be anywhere.
That is true. That is the 23rd Anchorage player off the board because they're all boats at heart.
Incredible, historic 23 boats selected.
Yep, everybody's a boat at heart, and just for Ace, boat sim, please, boat sim. So we got New England on the clock, followed up by Madison.
Yeah, and then 24. Forfeit, my favorite pick.
That is a strong pick. It's a bold strategy.
Sometimes when you look at a class and you're like, this is too deep, it's too easy to take someone, I just got to pass.
And please ignore the round 1, round 2 splits. It hasn't been updated to show the 24 teams, so we are still in the first round here at pick 23. Don't sink the boats.
All right, and here we go. The New England Wolfpack are selecting. Speaking of Phil Kessel, Le Thrill, the user Shopera. I don't know who this render is. Maybe we should delve in and find out.
I gotcha.
I know Thrill's watching, so you can just tell us in the chat too, but you can look into it. But yeah, awesome guy, super friendly in the chat, max earning, very solid bank, was the SMG Shl intern, so that player approval money going to hit different. Great guy coming out of Ottawa. It's going to be a great pick. Loves the Phil Kessel memes. Even if Phil Kessel does not enjoy hot dogs, it was just all part of a photoshopped picture. Photoshop for sure. But yeah, a great pick by New England here, getting a wonderful user at pick 23.
So Joe Pera is the render, and it's an American comedy writer, best known for the creator and star of Adult Swim's Joe Pera Talks with You.
I don't know it, but I'm gonna have to check it.
Yep. So.
And this will bring up Madison at pick 24. The Valkyries will be selecting. Last pick of this S83 first round. It's been a very solid class so far. Like I said, we're still getting max earning players with solid bank accounts at the end of the first round. Kind of wild to see that. But the selection is in, and from the Nevada Battleborn, the Madison Valkyries will be selecting Walter Forsberg, the user just another hockey fan, max earning with 31 million in the bank. And who doesn't love a Peter Forsberg render? Sometimes the old school players just hit different, and the intensity in his eyes always just great to see Peter Forsberg. But this user's he's all right, pretty quiet, kind of a bum if I'm honest. I don't know why anyone wanted him. I mostly just took him for the TP. Not a good person.
You're really building up that locker room.
Yeah. I took the most toxic person available to match with Lime after the Glizzy Goblin change.
That's smart. You guys are watching HIF Draft live. There is no delay in this at all. HIF is making these picks. There's no inside information. So that would be, I think that's the fourth Nevada Battleborn in the first. Still waiting on it to transition over.
Yeah, so like I said, Minnesota's a forfeit, so we're going to have the Nashville Sound on the clock at pick 26 after the trade that Seattle did for second overall. They also got 26 for fourth overall. They also got 26 out of it.
So what is forfeits render?
So past forfeit actually had a player.
We are getting.
I don't know if he had a render for it, but ESM, he definitely did have a. I don't know if he had a render, but there was a player past forfeit, and now whoever forfeits are is always going to be him. Just after the first round, I want to take a quick second to shout out Frenchie and Jess, who did the expansion draft commentary for their stream. They put a lot of time and effort in. It's a great duo put together, very friendly. Always fun to listen to them talk. Just a big shout out to them for the great work they do and great work for the league in general. So big shout out to them.
Yes, they did a great job. I was actually listening to it as I was driving back home last Sunday, and it kept me very entertained as I was driving through the hills of Virginia, trying not to die. I'm being told that was the third Nevada Battleborn, so I was close, around somewhere. So we had 3 Nevada Battleborns. We had, I'm not even going to sit here and try to count them live.
Yeah, we'll get into the breakdowns of the JPEGs and the media after, because ain't nobody got time for that now.
Well, we have time because the pick isn't up yet.
No, it is up. It's right there. He's got it ready. The National Sound Select Alerts Makoar. These are Faradian. I butchered the name. I apologize. He has an Uruk Hai from the Lord of the Rings series. I think he had a bet or something where he made a claim that he would make an Uruk Hai goalie for his next player. Did it. Absolutely love it. Very nerdy. Farah's a great guy. He runs the. There's a big fantasy league with a bunch of pointless rules that just drive me insane that I joined for no reason and got the team I wanted least. So now I have to pick Ottawa Senators players. But he runs that league, puts a lot of work in there. He also is making his own board game, I believe. So if you want someone who's a massive nerd, which Ace clearly does, Farah's a great guy to bring in, and that's a great goalie to have for the future and a locker room presence.
So on the talking about, because a lot of these expansion picks, when you're building that locker room, are you going with a little bit more recreates just to make sure that locker room is really solid?
I don't. After the expansion draft, I'm going to say they probably not. Like I took a bunch of culture guys in my locker room. You got like Trash, Lime, Patty, just some great guys who were there talking. Fantabins. So you got like a lot of us should just have the. I think all of us honestly should have the culture built in. Not to mention just you can bring people in the locker room. You've known a while. We've all been here a long time. Personally, I keep my locker room players only at the moment, but you just want to take the best available player unless you're worried about risk. If you have a limited number of assets, which none of us really do, the expansion draft left us with plenty of stuff. So yeah, I think you're just taking the person you want most, recreate or not, and just weighing it about the same, honestly.
Okay, and then that brings us to Buffalo on the clock at 27. Cammy says that you stole Patty.
You're goddamn right. I stole Patty. Although I don't acknowledge St. Louis pizza as pizza. That's an abomination.
I don't even know what St. Louis pizza is.
It's kind of like tomato sauce on a cracker with cheese, like a soda cracker.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the pick is in.
At pick 27, the Buffalo Stampede are selecting IMSLM Jr. These are IMSLM 22. Max earning defenseman with 24 million in the bank. SLM has been on and off here a while. He mentioned one of the things that made him want to come back was amongst sim leagues how positive the LGBTQ community and acceptance here was. We're very vocal about accepting it and bringing in people of all walks of life and supporting them in their personal journeys of growth. And that's something he really appreciated, was one of the main reasons he came back. So you love to see that, and Buffalo's getting a great pick here at pick 27.
Yes, and for those that didn't hear it because we were muted, we did wish everybody a happy Pride Month to start off the broadcast.
Absolutely.
Just couldn't hear it. So we have not forgotten for all those out there, and everybody's celebrating. And for those that are not, we hope you have an even worse Pride Month. And that's going to bring us up to New Orleans' first pick here in the SHL Season 83 draft. They are picking it pick 28.
So when you messaged Joe about this pick, he said, "Nope, not training it. Got to get my Lil Spectres back." So expect it to be a Lil Spectre. Is my lure drop on you here?
Okay,
Former New Orleans Spectres player would be the assumption to be had.
We will see if that is the case.
And at pick 28, the New Orleans Spectres are selecting Darnell Muhammad Johnston Herrera. The user Frith Joffer. I'm sure I butchered that. My apologies. He is the IHF commissioner, or was. I'm not sure if he still is. I'm fairly sure he still is. Longtime NOLA member, going back to the team he spent a long time on. Playing that premium position of defense. You got to love to bring that in. The bank's a little light. The TP is a little low relative to the other players. But if you know you're going to have someone around for a long time who loves your locker room and you're bringing them back, this is a great spot to be able to do that. And Joe's got to be ecstatic to select them here.
They also their previous player also played for the main Timber as well. So once you find those locker rooms that you love, sometimes it's really hard to leave them and go anywhere else. And can't blame users for that. Which is going to now bring us up to pick 29, which is again Nashville. Nashville is making a lot of picks here.
So I'm just going to say it. Won't somebody, for the love of God, please stop Ace one time? This is outrageous at this point. We need the Conan O'Brien gif of "This is outrageous."
They have traded into these positions pre-draft to be ready. They knew who they were going after, and that pick is in.
So the player is Chupa Meltrazo. The user Drokeep. Max earning player with 29 million in the bank. You're getting that at pick 29, just again as a testament to how deep this draft is. You got to love the Nathan McKinnon render. Are the pants green on the Colorado Raptors? If so, that's an abomination, and that team should be retracted immediately.
So.
I'm gonna bring it up in JHO. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. That's an abomination. Great pick. You're getting a steal in terms of TP and activity at this point of the draft. Wonderful pick for the Nashville Sound.
Yep. Was a waiver claim out of Colorado. I think it was the second week waiver claim. If I'm week 3 waiver claim to go to Colorado, and it's a recreate as well. Healthy bank account, building up that TP for when they came in. So look out for this player to really do some damage.
But next up, we have the Madison Valkyries on the clock at pick 30. Want to hear a fun fact? I forgot who I picked.
Picking.
If I don't look, I don't remember who I selected at the moment.
You haven't picked yet. Don't
ruin
the immersive.
This is live. This is live.
So, yeah, this is live. Come on.
I'm scouting as of the moment, trying to find out who to pick. That's what I meant.
Finish out the scouting conversations. You
I know
I
really liked whoever I took. I just don't remember who the person was. Genuinely.
Man, that really builds them up.
Yeah. Sorry, I liked you.
I
forgot you an hour after I took you. Sorry.
So memorable. So memorable. So Madison on the clock.
That's the pick. There it is. Perfect. Yeah, I was very excited for this one actually.
Yep. Okay.
I got
some
deep lore here. Some deep lore coming. Before we get to the pick, I'm going to mention that for anyone who likes fighters in the league, I know there's a cult of you who really like fights. The trophy for most penalty minutes is the Turd Ferguson trophy. What most of you may not know is that the player Turd Ferguson, their user is in this class. And Madison is going to select him at pick 30. That's Solus, the player Florian Ziegler, who was the original user for Turd Ferguson, the goon of all goons. This go around, he's looking to make an offensive defenseman rather than an offensive defenseman. But we're stoked to bring him in. He was a waiver claim who maxed earned, has a very large bank, and is a great guy. He's got the most cider render, which we can always mock Detroit. But yeah, stoked to bring him in. Very excited. Great guy. Has been around the league a long time and has some great stories.
Yep. Just and it's awesome that we're still here early round 2, but we're still getting these 330 plus users going.
Also, I do want to point out that I shit all over one of my picks, and then my next pick forgot who they were. So I'm really nailing this draft thing.
I was trying to switch the subject for you so that you could go back to your locker room with your head held high.
I don't need to. They're all naming themselves glizzies. Like they're monsters and don't deserve my love.
My next recreate's on Be Glizzy, and you better pick me.
Absolutely not. That's tampering. We're not doing that here.
No, I'm demanding it. I'll take the fines.
Yeah, pick 31 will be on the clock, and that's the Cincinnati 6 selecting. Is there a trade? Nobody knows.
Oh, no trade. We got one of my favorite Blue Jackets renders.
That's Mike Commodore render incoming. But yeah, the player Gord Burns is going to go to the Cincinnati 6. The player's engineer. I believe he was amongst the top, if not the top earners of the waiver pickups. He maxed earned from the second he was taken. Seven loves his SHL analytics on how they're earning relative to when they get picked. So that's definitely a factor in the selection. The big brain selection coming out. A great person to talk to. They're getting a great pick at a premium position. It's a, like I said, wonderful pick for Cincinnati here.
Yes, and I don't think they could have traded out of that position because they are very available there. The only question really is the bank account sitting at 1.5 on how that's going to. And I have to really start building it up. But I love the render because of the hair, and it looks dense like bread. It's an office joke.
Oh yeah, I got you there.
Sorry.
We're still gonna have to fine you for earlier, but that's fine. Pick 32 on the clock.
I say it to my kids all the time. Pat their head and go, "It's dense like bread."
The Denver Glacier Guardians on the clock again, and they will be taking.
Give it a second. So,
I believe this is a Patrice Bergeron render, and they will be taking Saggy Lumps, the player Critical Cheese. Fantastic user and player name. Probably my favorite username in the class. But yeah, he came off of Ace got one of his Bruins buddy podcaster friends to do an ad. He came from that ad. So Bruins fans coming to leagues, things you hate to see, but you love active users. Great person to talk to. He's going to fit in really well with Denver and be a big part of their young core moving forward.
Yep, you nailed it. That is definitely Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah, 100%. That's Bergeron.
There's definitely not correcting it at all.
Yeah, that's. But I don't know who else it would be.
Slightly to their render, they are playing on Ratvia this season with us, so it fits the render perfectly as a rat. Really, really solid earner going on, slowly building up that bank account. So overall, just a great pick. Going middle round 2, and we're still in some solid picks. And if I run by the rules that I can't get punished for anything after the hour mark, because that's when the podcasters stop listening.
Yeah, I believe that's the case. I can actually say whatever I want at this point, and HO won't do it.
You can't get punished for after the hour mark. That's a rule. If it's not a rule, I'll argue it.
Okay, the appeals team is going to take your easy $1 million. But this will bring us to the New Orleans Spectres on the clock at pick 33.
Their second pick of the second round.
And they're going to
bunch
take
of sprees.
Yep, they're going to take Hattie Minch, the user Moody99. New Orleans getting a very solid earning goaltender with a large bank account at $24 million. I'm gonna just wager a guess that this is a former New Orleans Spectres based off Joe's comments. But honestly, the goalie mask and the Highlanders color is just chef kiss. Looks fantastic.
Yep.
It's going to be a great pick for the Spectres. Have the goalie of the future coming in.
So Hattie Mitch is actually playing on Latvia as well this season. So back-to-back Rats being taken. Yes, I'm still talking about World Juniors because that's what I'm going to do right now. Really great bank account, and their last player was not showing up. Their last player was a New Orleans Spectre.
Nailed it.
Well. So
this will bring Cincinnati on the clock at 34, though.
Fun fact: their last player was actually a round 2 pick 37. So they increased their pick statue by 4. Good job.
Percentage-wise, that's got to be like 18% or something.
I'm not doing the math.
Me either. I'm just throwing a number out.
We had a bunch of screes in there for Critical Cheese. So I want to shout out.
I don't acknowledge Detroit as an SMJHL team.
You can not acknowledge them all you want. But that brings us to the next pick from Cincinnati 6.
Yeah, and the Cincinnati 6 are selecting Stanislav Uljevic, the user SMFJ. TP is going great. I think that's got to be a Joe Thornton, right? No, it's not. Who is that? Scott Thornton?
Patrick Eves with the
Patrick
beard.
Eves. Okay, the beard. Yeah, the beard threw me. But yeah, the TP earnings been going great. 342 TPE. But that bank is definitely going to need some work. I think that's after purchasing coaching, which is a big chunk. But it's a great pick. One of the higher TP players left in the draft. Cincinnati getting an excellent selection at 34.
I have to give a shout out that dude has a nice beard. That's going through the pictures on Google. It's there. Yep. Another solid pick by Cincinnati. They have made their last 3 picks without trades. Pop the champagne.
This will bring us to Winnipeg on the clock. And there's one player left that makes a lot of sense for Winnipeg if you know the deep lore of this draft.
Sorry, go on.
So we have a Sink who delegated the drafting to Dex as he is moving into his new house today. Him and his boyfriend purchased a house together. The person who they might take, if I had to guess, the aforementioned boyfriend who is in this class. So we'll see if those dreams come true, or if he's sleeping on the couch tonight.
That would be that'd be a bold strategy.
It'd be a thing to do, 100%.
Sorry, we were being given trade rumors in the chat, and that's what made me laugh because you'll laugh when you see it too.
Which chat?
Our the chat that's informing us of upcoming trades, I believe.
Oh, that's good. But yes, the Winnipeg Aurora are pleased to select Jumbo's Chitters, user Rocat. This is the aforementioned boyfriend of the GM. Great pick. I don't know who this is. This a specific rat from something or a mouse?
Let's see. I'll pull it up. I got you. Keep
that's
going.
something. That's the important information. But yeah, he is a big fan of the game Root. It's a board game. Wonderful person to talk to. Just based on like having a conversation alone, one of my like top 5 users this class. The TP is a bit low because they've been having that moving going on, but that's without coaching and things still done. It's going to be a great pick for Winnipeg. Premium position in defense, great person. That locker room must just have immaculate vibes with all the great users there. Fantastic pick.
Yes, so the render is a rat.
Just a rat?
That's just
Annie?
a rat. Yep. And I'm disappointed that they're not on.
Is that a mouse or a rat in the render? Did Raj put a mouse? Is this a mouse or a rat?
Hollywood likes to give you mouses so that it doesn't offend.
I feel like this is a mouse. I feel like we should find Raj
like a
mouse.
So
I think we have to find Raj. All right.
Well, unfortunately, it's after the hour mark, so fines are gone.
Yeah, but Raj wasn't involved in the stream, so he's fine. It's not a podcasting thing. Graphics is still findable.
No, but if we find somebody after the hour mark, because of stuff they did before, it gets tricky. I need my argument for appeals.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Raj is exempt from all exemptions, so he's actually finable.
Which brings us Texas on the board at pick 36. And see where they're going to go with this pick.
Pick 36. The Texas Renegades are selecting Colleen Devine, the user of the Wazzy. I think that's an Eric Stahl render, I want to say, looking at it. But Wazzy has been a very active user in the Quebec City locker room, big Pokemon fan, as well as some video games. Max earning TP with a sizable bank. The previous players kind of trailing off might be the only detractor, but a great pick just based on the aggregate alone, and a wonderful person to bring into the locker room and hopefully keep them around long term as part of a great core in Texas.
I do like their previous player's
Oh,
name.
that's Nikolaj Ehlers. Okay, I lied. That's not Eric Stahl.
Well, there's no render information in the thing.
Cool is actually just he's the fan page of the Ehlers to Montreal. So he sleeps with a picture of Ehlers over his bed. That's why he knows so quick.
One of their previous players' names was Capybara.
Yeah,
which I like a lot. It's a solid name. The Beaver was hoping to get the Capybara.
But yeah, next up is San Francisco with their second pick of this draft. The Pride are looking to make a selection at pick 37.
And we will get that going here in a second.
And surprising nobody, they take their co-GM, as they are mandated to do by HO. Belak from, the user Caleb. Kind of a terrible pick. He's mostly here to do coaching. His player will likely be complete garbage. Kind of a toxic user, pretty quiet, not very friendly. You'll tag him for watchers and he won't show up. Just not a good person.
You go off, If. I'll give you your space. You go off. You tell us.
This is all factual information. There's nothing wrong has been said on the stream, even slightly.
Nope. We're good. Got that thumbs up. We're good.
HO actually just approved everything we said. They said everything's great.
Little unknown fact: if you ignore HO's messages in your DM, they can't punish you.
You know, they said I'm fine, like I'm fined, but I think they meant I'm doing like I'm fine.
They said the same thing to me too.
Yeah, I think they're like you're doing a fine job, like really good job of the draft.
They can't even see us, but they're hitting on us. It's weird.
Yeah. Pick 38. Sorry, I will say Caleb is great. Probably the best FHM coach currently in the league. Will have a great player and just a wonderful person to have in the locker room. Always great to have a wonderful co-GM like Caleb on your team.
Before we go into pick 38, what are your opinions on Harlan Sanders? Is he a horrible person?
There was a residence that closed recently, and I think it was because of Harlan Sanders. Am I correct in this?
I don't know.
Because what's your podcast called?
Oh, so no, he's not on our pod. He joined us as a guest.
No, but I'm pretty sure it's his fault. Like he came on once, and then the residence closed because of him.
That is true. He is a terrible person.
Genuinely garbage person that should never see the light of day. Actually, maybe see more light of day so he's less on the SHL. But I digress. Pick 38, the Philadelphia Forge are selecting Ignac Canister, the user Geoff. That looks like an old Detroit render. I can't even imagine who that player would be. 21. That can't be Lucas Raymond, right? Who is that?
That is...
But yeah, this is a great player, earning very well. The bank account was one of the only concerns I had for them because they were really easy to talk to. But yeah, hoping to see this user have a great SHL career. Fantastic person, and Philly's making a great pick here, as they tend to do. They generally get good value out of their picks.
No render, and that bank account has dropped drastically. They are now sitting
negative 1.4 million.
Yeah, they are.
I thought that the no renders we just made Bo Horvat every time. Maybe we changed who it was.
I don't know. I do like that render a little bit. So we do have a little bit of a break here as we're coming up on pick 39. So anybody out in the
Raj wanted his turn, but he's Okay, so I don't know if there's a game called Rematch. It's like a soccer beta that came out.
Hmm.
And in Ottawa, we were playing with Raj and some other guys. And if you know anything about Raj, is that he's gonna brag about how he was a goalie when he played soccer. So I'm like, oh, cool. So we'll have someone who. No, Raj refuses to play goalie. He blames his quote unquote ping for not playing goalie, and then never plays defense. He's always floating like he's season one rookie season Alex Ovechkin. And then you'll be on a 2-0. He'll never pass you. He'll just try to score, and then he'll kick another goalie every single time. Just genuinely the worst person to play games with.
So in the chat, we actually had the last user comment. Geo said, "Okay, next time render is coming, and going to fill that bank account soon." So if for nothing at all, we're helpful mentors
I
for
retired,
Trash
but
You.
this was my last mentoring here.
We'll make you want to build that bank account by talking about how bad that bank account is on.
Unironically, this is 90% what I do the draft stream to let people know just how big the difference is between earning in the SHL versus SMJHL. It's about 17.5 million per season in the SHL to max earn with your money, so definitely need
That is
a
true.
sizable bank.
Raj, it is after the hour mark. You can't sue us.
However, Tampa Bay will be on the clock, and they will take another anime person. This is the player Envy. The user Dangles13. Dangles is a great team first guy to have in the locker room. Been around the league a long time. Was originally planning to go J only, but this kind of reinvigorated his spirit playing in the J with J and H and Jeffy with their weird anime line.
Yep.
But yeah, a great person to have in the locker room. Very team first guy. Is going to be a long time player for the Barracuda and a great selection.
I I love the team up on different players and stuff. As like last season we had the ABC twins. Now we have the sinful the sins uh, players. I always love seeing those come through. It's always a fun time.
I think it's fun to see them when they don't force it to a certain spot, but it can be a little draining to watch them just drop like a rock to certain teams. I can get this, there can be some frustration to some SMJHL GMs for that. But I think you know, have them in Newfoundland. They enjoyed them there, and they're all great people.
Yes. And now Cincinnati comes on the clock. And if there's one thing that Cincinnati does not do, it's that they don't trade.
I've officially heard that they are banned from trading. Finn got tired of their shit and said no trades allowed.
Yep,
But they
no,
got this one
there's
in
no.
before. So Cincinnati is trading the 40 overall to Los Angeles for the S86 Los Angeles second. So LA
Which,
will be on the clock at pick 40.
yep. So Los Angeles gets to come in and pick at pick 40. After that would be the third trade of the draft. So the details are up there. Trip there. Yep, there was triplets in season 82. 01 has told me. And we will wait for that Los Angeles pick to get put up on the board, and it is in as
Yeah,
soon
the
as Hiff
Los
is ready.
Angeles Panthers are selecting Calvin McKenzie, the user Blackage1414. I believe this was Reno's co-GM in Thunder Bay at one point when they were the Regina Elk, and he was the GM there. So they have a great connection there. He's often been on that team with his SMJHL players, so it makes a lot of sense for Reno to be bringing them in. The TP is a bit light, but I believe that's without coaching and stuff done, and it has a hefty bank. So yeah, Reno's got to be really excited to bring in a player he's liked for a long time to the Panthers.
Yep, yep. Last player was also a McKenzie, so continuing that lineage.
And this will bring up the Calgary Dragons at pick 41.
Calgary, yep, 41. We are coming up on the back end of this round two. Any questions in the chat that we can answer, please post them or thoughts. We will shout you out. That is why you watch, so that you can be brought into it. Or you watch to hear me and Hef fight.
Is it really a fight if you always lose?
I don't know, is it?
But at pick 41, the Calgary Dragons are selecting Matthew Murdoch, the user PixelNick13. The Mark Scheifele render, you'll love to see it. Earning TP well, but that bank is at the lowest it can go with negative 1.5 million. So definitely something it needs to work on. But max earning as a waiver pickup by Quebec, definitely a solid pick at this point of the draft. And a great person to talk to. Quebec's got to be ecstatic to get them at pick 41.
Some of these players with the negative bank accounts, they probably cannot wait until that entry level contract hits that bank account here in the
Sadly, it's
next
only 3
couple
million,
days.
so it's not that much.
Well, that gets them out of negative. It gets
That's true.
it gets Rent-A-Center off their porch.
What does that as well is that you can also do 2 times draft media currently available to get paid a lot of money.
It is. That is how I built my bank account. And now I don't do media except when I get wrangled into draft shows. And that brings up.
There's a trade coming up. We're just getting the details on it specifically. Yep. But the Buffalo Stampede are trading pick 42 to the Nashville Sound in exchange for their S84 third round selection. Bit of a under the fire trade here. Nashville coming away a little bit of a winner, but it will bring the Nashville Sound on the clock as we look forward to that with their umpteenth pick of this draft.
Yep, and they keep letting Ace get away with it. When you don't know who to pick, you trade. So Nashville will go back to back on this one. Be Nashville, and then Toronto.
And the Nashville Sound are going to select Jack Aubrey, the user's surprise, with a Z, of course. Again, max earning TPE or close with 323. The bank is almost at the lowest amount it could be, coming from the Yukon Malamutes. But they're going to end up in Nashville and hopefully develop into a great player there. Just need to work on that bank. And should be a great pick for Ace as he moves up into this draft to select them.
No render and a negative bank account, but could become a really great player. Good TPE going on. When you're at that point in your bank account, you're not answering your phone because more than likely it's a bill collector. And that's going to keep Nashville on the clock at pick 43. Save some work for.
Yeah, but we have the Nashville Sound selecting one of the greatest names in the class, Alfonso Alakazam. These are Marco 999. The TP is a bit light. I believe this was without coaching again, but the bank is massive at 178 million. I don't know if Ace knows he just took a Habs fan, but he's finding out now. Great person. Had him on Edmonton when I first started GMing. Was a great player there. I believe he won an MVP on his 2 players ago with Marco Campolainen, I believe his name was. Won it in New England, if I recall, or Manhattan. I can't quite remember the specifics. But yeah, a great pick at this point of the draft at a premium position like defense. Hopefully you just get up earning and going.
Yes. So for some reason they're listed as inactive, but they have been active. Well, no, they have not. So Matt Berry is the render. And now we're up to pick 44. And we have a trade.
Yeah, the Toronto North Stars are trading pick 44 and 45 to the Denver Glacier Guardians in exchange for their S84 second and third, as well as their S85 third round pick. So that is back-to-back picks on the clock for the Denver Glacier Guardians.
Yep. Really solid, really good trade there. Like to see who they're going after. And that would be trade number 5, if I'm not wrong. So we are 2 away from our prediction, if.
It's coming.
See how it goes. And we really did not know. And the pick is in.
And at pick 44, the Denver Glacier Guardians are selecting Midnight, the user Midnight. The TP is a little light. This is without coaching, and the bank is a little light. I know that the SHL is kind of a secondary league, so the earning might not be top tier, but still plans to earn and be a fantastic locker room presence. Put me on to some great music. The song "Tum Hi Ho" showed me is an excellent song, and just a great person to have in the locker room. They're getting a gem in Denver, and yeah, they must be really excited to get him at this point of the draft. Honestly.
Yep, and like you said, the TPs are rise because they haven't done the seasonal coaching yet. That bank account is a little bit light, but not definitely not the worst, and something that they can easily keep building on. Coming out of St. Louis, have really good leadership there from Jimmy and Toaster on helping on how to improve that bank account. Will definitely help Denver with this pick.
Yeah, and they're on the clock again at pick 45, so we'll see what direction Denver's looking to go there. And at pick 45, they're taking Luis Fenstermacher, the user SG Vesuvius. Again, the bank is small, but the TP is very solid at 324. Great selection at this point of the draft. I know him from Hockey Nation. He's a good guy. Ended up in Carolina. And yeah, it's a very solid pick, 45 at this juncture of the draft. Denver's got to be really excited to have moved up to get both of these players.
Yep, really solid back-to-back centers to build that middle really strongly. Bank account is low. The friender is Leon Draisaitl. So, and also, if you're going to pick a player with a low bank account, if they're coming out of Carolina or St. Louis, you have a little bit of faith that they're going to be able to really turn it around. And that's why you trade up to get that. And they did. So we're coming up on pick 46, which is right now owned by the Los Angeles Panthers. Doing a solid job here. We're moving along in this draft. So. And it is in.
Yeah, and the LA Panthers are pleased to select from the Anchorage Armada, Vinny Messina. The user Tony W19. I don't know where the render's from, but it's excellent. The bank's a little light, but the TP growth's been great, especially for a waiver claim. It's a very solid pick. Tony's a great guy, bringing some dad energy into LAP. Just a wonderful gem of a selection at this point. Fantastic.
A very, very solid locker room guy in Anchorage. Elvis Costello is that render. And
who's on first? I guess it's who's on LAP, and it's him.
TPE's building up as a, even as a waiver wire, they've built that TPE pretty strongly and keeping that bank account, even though it's light, keeping it solid right now. Which is going to bring us up to pick 49, which is back to New Orleans.
Yeah, we'll have the Spectres selecting again. Excited to see where they're going to go this time.
Sorry, you might hear my kid in the background arguing with his Google.
Yeah, kids know that robots and AI are taking over our way of life and need to be fought at all points of life, honestly. So respect to Pat's kids. But the New Orleans Spectres are going to select Zara Wolf, user Banak.
Banak out of Thunder Bay Walleye. Good bank account, good TPE. Really solid pick here in the late second round. That's been. I would have hated to scouted this class heavily, like a lot of the GMs had to.
No, it was really a fun time, but yeah, Banak heading back to New Orleans. Moving on to Toronto at pick 48.
Do you know what that render was?
Leon Draisaitl.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pick 48, which is the last pick in the second round, belonging to Toronto. And we will get that up. It is in. It's just being edited. I'm happy that once the draft started, the index has actually picked up speed. So
yeah, I guess people stopped looking and just listened to us.
Yeah, so we're able to have the index to ourselves, and the pick is in.
And yeah, the Toronto North Stars select Helmfried Kunkel, the user bfine475. Max earning with a solid bank out at 9 million. This is an absolute steal of a pick at this point. It's hard to believe Toronto got such a great pick at this selection of the draft, but we told you this class is insanely deep and a fantastic pick.
And Toronto would go with the Mitch Marner render. So
yeah, absolutely makes sense there.
That wraps up the second round. 48 picks in. We've done it. We have many more to go. No, don't go to the index. Look, me and Hiff have it. Shouldn't have said it. The index is so slow.
If you haven't
right
noticed,
now.
all of the players who are trolling and being toxic in the chat, they're all Madison Valkyries. Every single one of them.
They take after their leader.
Yeah, they're only the worst people.
Like I said, after their leader.
Yeah, exactly. So, Lime actually just posted something in the our team chat. He said, I told him they're all terrible. He said they could be worse. They could be the Glizzy Guardians, and it's the Guardians, the Glacier Guardians. Instead of a sword, it's a hot dog he's holding.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
I'm gonna send that to Trips right now. I'll send it to Trips and Rashford.
Would it be? It would be historic to have a rebrand before your first game. All right, scrap everything. We got it. And the pick for San Francisco Pride at 49 is in, and it is Chef Gagne.
Yeah,
the user Parky.
Yeah, great person to talk to. Super friendly. Really liked my chat with this guy. They're getting a really great pick at 49, which is often unheard of. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really solid player for them in the long term. I could not tell you for the life of me what that render is. Looks like he's making toast on a barbecue.
That is the chef from The Bear.
Sure, but why does he have bread for a barbecue?
Well, because you toast the bread
on a barbecue.
Yes.
No, this isn't real. This isn't real.
Yeah, toast the bread on the barbecue.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say this is Photoshop. I don't believe this.
I like to set fires in my kitchen to toast my bread.
Yeah,
I don't like.
Fair.
I don't
that's
like
to
kitchen,
be
though,
mean. Not outside. No one sets fires outside.
Do it on the
ice.
The
trees are. The trees are outside. Unbelievable. But yeah, it's a great pick. Parky's a great guy. He's going to do really well in San Francisco. Excellent.
People are going to be mad when this render goes off the screen because it is a thirst trap render. I want to say that I have a lot of respect for how you guys do this because all I'm seeing in the corner of my screen is messages, and I don't know if people are yelling at me to say something or to stop. And if you are, I'm not really paying attention. So you got to tag me 3 times for me to know if it's for me.
I think the key is that you just keep making mistakes, and then if people really want to tell you, they'd come in the chat.
Well, the other key is if you make enough mistakes, it's really hard to type out that punishment. Do you have the energy to do it? No.
But this will bring us to Toronto at pick 50, and they're going to take Lucas Eichelman, the user McGritty10. McGritty's been around a long time, just retired his last player. Mikul is going to win the cup, who was named from Nikul after the charity drive. The bank's looking very light. A quick retirement leads to him falling a bit in the draft. But yeah, Toronto's going to be a great spot for him, and hopefully this player will have a bit more longevity in Toronto here.
Yep. I've gotten to know McGritty because he's in both the Anchorage locker room as a alumni and the Texas locker room as well. So I've gotten to know him over the last 2 seasons. Would like to see more on that bank account, but it's something that, as a recreate, they know kind of what they need to do to build it, and they'll be able to do it. And another Leon Draisaitl render. Just churning out Leon Draisaitl's left and right. Yeah,
I think it might be when they don't have a render, there was someone who did Leon Draisaitl's. Is my guess. Because it used to be Bo Horvat, but this might be someone doing the Leons.
So I mean, that render was Leon Draisaitl. So
okay.
That's like, I think that's like the 5th one that I've seen in the render box. So, and San Francisco Pride's next pick is in at pick 51.
Yeah, they're going to take Chase Huntington, the user CBX. He's not a goalie; he's a left winger. Ripley's, believe it or not. But yeah, 200 TP, 298 TPE, just under 300, with negative 1.5 million. It's a great LR presence. Hopefully, you can get the bank account going. But a great person. A lot of great Detroit-based stories. If you're interested in that, it's going to be a great selection for San Francisco here.
The render is actually a goalie. It's Alex Lyon of Detroit Red Wings.
No, that's a person.
And, but that's, yeah. Anyways, that's their render. And it's hard. We just imagine if you're going to pick a goalie, you're going to be a goalie no matter what. No matter what position you play, you are now a goalie. You have to play with the pads. And so that's bring us up to the Hamilton Steelhawks on the clock.
Or there's a trade to announce. Baltimore is trading up to get pick 52, trading their S87 Baltimore third, bringing Baltimore on the clock.
I just saw the message of unsure if it was ready, so I was kind of waiting. But it was ready. It is there. Baltimore is on the clock now. And this will be didn't get a mention it earlier before this pick gets posted. We have a little bit of time. And now my internet's gonna be slow, so I can't look it up real quick.
But yeah, the Baltimore platoon selection is ready. They're taking Artem Kuznetsov, the user Southie, TP max earning. The bank account's high at 31 million. Often a penchant to recreate fairly frequently is a factor in why they've fallen down at this point. But if Baltimore can keep them on the ball and earning, it could be a very great selection for the platoon at this point of the draft.
Yep. I wanted to shout out Hockey Fan and O1s because this is their first draft together as GM and co-GM in Baltimore. That's what I was trying to pull up before my internet completely slowed down. Very solid pick there at 52. 364 on the TPE, 31 million in the bank. This deep into the draft, that's a great pickup to build around. Raj would like you to know that there's no electricity on the ice for a toaster. That's why there's a grill to make the toast.
Did you actually know Raj is Finnish and cosplaying as Swedish?
I did not.
Yeah, the more you know. But the Denver Glacier Guardians at pick 53 will be taking from the Newfoundland Berserkers Wrath, the last of the anime siblings, the user J&H. Jay's been around since, I think season 20 was his first class, or season 19. So he's been here a minute. Done a lot of good work in the time, but was focusing on a J-only player this time. But you get to bring him in the locker room and have him around for the camaraderie, which is always important.
Yep.
And Rashford and Jay go back in the Newfoundland days, so it's a great pick for the Glacier Guardians to bring him in. And yeah, excited to see Jay get drafted.
That Newfoundland locker room had to be something this year with all the wrath, the envy. Had to be something. That's on bring up Cincinnati at pick 54. Let's see who they go for here.
Yeah, we'll see what the six are doing.
Raj, I've said it over and over again. We can't get banned for anything after the hour mark.
It's
It's
true.
in our contracts. And the pick is in.
And they will be selecting Theo Dahl, the user statistic goaltender from the Detroit Falcons. A waiver claim who was earning TP pretty well and has a solid amount of money left in the bank. It looks like a great pick for the Cincinnati Six.
Yep. Very solid goalie pickup here. Bank is solid. I like the name. I wonder how they're going to feel about being white on white at home. No render on this one. And that's going to bring up Texas back on the clock at pick 55 in the third round. And the pick is in. Once it gets settled, I'm sorry, Holtz.
And the Texas Renegades will be selecting from the Anchorage Armada, surprising no one because of Patrick, the Olivia Osgood, Ricer 13, goaltender with incredibly high TP and money. Again, it's another user that might have a penchant to recreate a bit sooner. Me pot calling the kettle black. But a great user, been around a long time and heading to Texas to possibly be the goalie of the future.
Yep. Really, really great user. Sharing the locker room last season with them. With him and Johnny as the goalies at Anchorage, they were always back and forth complimenting each other, cheering each other on when the other one wasn't on the ice, which is what you like to see because you can only play one goalie a game unless it's going really bad for you, and you don't want to have to play two goalies. So they were always cheering for each other, and just overall great locker room person out there in Anchorage. And been keeping up on TPE, so really solid pickup, 362 TPE in the third round. So, which is going to bring us to Los Angeles Panthers at pick 56. Then you'll have Tampa Bay at pick 57 and Hamilton at pick 58. Hiff should not have anywhere to go because he's not picking for a while.
Ever again. I may never draft. To be fair, the prospects will see what I say about them when I take them, and everyone will not want to play with me.
You're going to be wondering why nobody's joining your locker room.
However, if ever there was a Switzerland thing, the Los Angeles Panthers are selecting Aniques. These are Aniques, the Tolbrone Bar Render, which is fantastic. Aniques is a great guy. I think he's bigger in the PBE, but he comes around here often, making a defenseman, solid TP and amount of money in the bank, especially for a waiver pickup. Going to be a great selection for the Panthers, and I'm excited to see how his career on this player goes.
Shout out for that render. That goes to Kari for the Toblerone bar. And they even put it in a San Diego title uniform. Amazing. That's going to bring up Tampa Bay at pick 57.
Yeah, and the Tampa Bay Barracuda are selecting Joel Miller, the user JSteel14. I think this is the thirst trap Raj was referring to coming up with the Pedro Pascal render. But yeah, great pick. I believe his original player and profile picture was a Mandalorian logo. So clearly a big TV guy. Yeah, a wonderful pick. Yukon waiver claim. The TP's a little light as well as, but he's got a great bank account and definitely something to build around here. It should be a great pick for Tampa Bay if they can keep him on task and earning.
Yep. And do you think that the render is the video game Joel Miller or the TV show Joel Miller?
I think what they actually wanted was the Viper Pedro Pascal after the fight with the Mountain was their hope, but they just didn't execute it properly.
And that's going to bring up Hamilton at pick 52 or 58. 58. I'm not going back in time.
They didn't specify those, so Raj picked TV, as usual, making the bad decision. But the Hamilton Steelhawks are selecting Brain Fluid Explosion, the user Astro. Their Discord name is a bunch of Zoomer nonsense that you'd noted if you saw it. Solid pick. The TP is great, as well as the bank. Conversations with this player, though, they're looking to kind of become an SHL mercenary and go to whoever pays them the most money each season. So interesting if you seem to stick around or stick with that mercenary status they originally have planned.
Is Glizzy in their username at all?
I bet. Give me 1 second. It's Ohio Riz.
Oh yeah,
Skibbity
I'm
Phantom
already.
Ohio Riz Bus Riz Gat.
Your cell phone probably would. Your phone probably wouldn't let you type it in. Like
Yeah,
nope,
yeah.
no,
That's
you
not a
can't
real
message
word.
them.
Did you mean onomatopoeia?
Hello, my name is Chris Hansen. See, you're trying to message this person. Why? And now we have a trade. The New England Wolfpack are getting the. Is that coming through right on my screen? Is that season 82?
No. No, it is not. That's season 83 Manhattan third, pick 59 for the S84 New England fourth. So
It's
New
meant
England
to
on the
be
clock at pick
season
59.
83 Manhattan third.
Yes, correct.
I was making sure I wasn't going blind. That was my bad. Sorry, it's okay. I can't read sometimes. And that pick is now on the board. New England will be picking at 58 or 59. And is that trade number 6?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Trade number 6.
Just need one more.
Okay. We'll just need one more, and then we're going to refuse all trades so that we're right. And Hamilton, nope. New England's getting their pick in.
And New England's going to take Mike Rich Colt, the user Porgboy. Great pick here, active user on Discord. Fun to talk to. New England's getting a bit of a steal at pick 59. The bank's a little light. The TP also a little light, but if you can keep them on track and earning, could end up being a fantastic pick for the Wolfpack, as Luke often does get steals by making the educated gambles late in the draft.
I do like the render, though. It is of, if I'm not mistaken, that is Scott Hartnell render.
Could be.
I'm pulling it up on the player page if the index would load. We're getting late in the draft. Everybody stopped listening to us.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Raj just listens because he likes the sound of my voice.
But this pick is going to shut down the whole draft. Shut it down. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Manhattan Rage are selecting John Taffer, the user Duff101. 284 TP with 7 mil in the bank, heading to Atlanta. I believe his last player was also in Atlanta. they love sticking it out there. Former Anchorage Armada player. I don't know who that render is. I'm sure Pat can tell me. That's your whole job. It's why you're here. Who is the render?
It is John Taffer from
There you
Bar
go.
Rescue. That's why I said shut it down. He is it's a show here in America that a guy goes in to fix bars, and he yells at him to shut it down every single time. Shut the whole bar down.
If you wanted to fix a bar, you'd start selling chocolate milk. But I digress. Great reference, wonderful pick, and going to be a solid selection for the Atlanta Inferno.
So he was a really great locker room user in Atlanta. When I scouted him last season, the only way that I scouted him was I was just sending gifs of John Taffer yelling at people into his messages just to see how far we could take it, and knew that we had to get him in Atlanta or in Anchorage, and really solid.
Tampering. You're in Atlanta now.
No, I'm not.
No, duly noted. This was tampering.
Atlanta, Anchorage, it all goes together.
We do have a trade to announce. The Buffalo Stampede are selecting pick 61 from the Chicago Syndicate in exchange for the S85 Buffalo third, putting the Buffalo Stampede on the clock.
I'm going to be very bad on getting renders up because it's just not working for me right now.
Unacceptable.
I'm sorry. Find me. But the next pick from Buffalo Stampede coming in, it is up and ready.
Yeah, they're going to take Henrik Marshall. These are CM Sykes. 283 TP with a low bank, but a waiver pickup, so the TP gain's actually been pretty decent. Sykes has been around a long time. Former platoon player back in, I want to say the season 20 or 30s. He's in their team Hall of Fame. He's been around a while, a long bout of inactivity, but coming back, the Portal Edition might help them stick around, and excited to see a long-time user return.
Very, great pickup here in the third round for Buffalo. BV said that they got their guy. So Buffalo is excited about the pick, and Raj said, great pick. And that's going to bring us to Philadelphia, who is passing at their pick 62.
That's the first pass?
Winnipeg. Yep, that's the first pass. And Winnipeg is now on the clock at pick 63. Have I ever told you how much I really like the Winnipeg logo?
No, it's also one of my favorites.
It's so peaceful.
It's really nice. Polar bear, cool. It needs a Coke bottle for the polar bear, though.
Yep.
That's a double reference to the movie Cocaine Bear.
Nice. I have not seen it.
Me either. But anyways, the Winnipeg Aurora are pleased to select Jamie Peterson. These are Daldar, coming from the St. Louis Scarecrows. TP and Bank are a bit low, but they're hoping they can get to activity and earning on track. And yeah, solid selection by the Winnipeg Aurora at this point.
So they actually play for the San Diego title.
I don't know. That's a Scarecrows jersey.
The render team decided that anybody that started with
an
S...
not the render team. This was Raj. Raj fucked up. Any complaints, please go directly to Raj. Do not pass go.
So he plays for the San Diego title.
But yeah, San Diego title player. Put up a solid season of 19 points, minus 22, and a very low Corsi 4 percentage of 32.4. So definitely needs to work on those possession numbers. And yeah, feel free to just message Raj and tell him what a terrible person he is. You don't have to be on the San Diego title. Anyone can do that.
And that's a pick. Bring us to our second pass at pick 64. Tampa Bay is passing, which then brings us to Manhattan, who is also passing, according to the sheet. And then, I'm sorry. Tampa Bay's is a forfeit. Tampa Bay's pick is forfeited.
And Manhattan will pass, bringing us to 66 for New Orleans.
I have to say we have some great directors in the background that keep us on track.
Appreciate them. It's Kari, isn't it? Good job, Kari.
Yep. Kari and Holtz are absolutely killing it directing this draft. And that brings us to New Orleans Spectres, who are picking at pick 66 after not available and pass went. Which brings me to my other favorite office quote, which was, "I'm happy I was Stanley's pick after pass."
Yeah, that's a great quote. But you know who, like when you're trying to get drafted, nobody doesn't want to get drafted, right? But however, it's always good to know that nobody got drafted ahead of you, which generally means you're first overall, but in this draft, it's just an indictment of how low you're going in the draft. Bob Bergen Jr. heading to the New Orleans Spectres. Nobody was a long-time SHL user, former SMJHL commish, or I think SMJHL commish. Max earning TP with a large bank account, played in Quebec this year. New Orleans getting a gem of a player with this kind of prospect profile at this point of the draft. Great selection for the Spectres here.
Yep, really good pick. You can only imagine that they fell this low because of their username and the confusion on if that was actually a player or not because of the nobody. Which brings us to Montreal's pick here in the third round. Is this Montreal's first pick of the draft?
Could be. Couldn't tell you.
I think it is their first pick. Yep. I haven't seen. Oh, hang on. It might be Montreal's first pick of the draft. Any questions in the chat? How many do we have watching?
It's just Raj at this point. 26 watching,
Raj?
but it's just Raj.
26. Yeah, hey, 26 people watching. And all we're doing is talking about Raj. Rich said that your references are out of control.
Yeah, see, Rich likes chaos, which is why he enjoys when I talk, because none of it is planned and it's entirely chaotic.
And did we get the trade up? There it is. Okay. So we got a trade. Montreal is trading out of pick 67, trading it to the Toronto North Stars for New England's third rounder at pick 69. So Montreal gets pick 69 from Toronto, and Toronto gets pick 67. And the pick is in.
Yeah, at pick 67, Toronto selects Dan Backle, the user Starchy Chaff. That's Conor McGregor lying on the ground in pain and injured. Fantastic render choice. TP and Bank are solid, but not at the top, which is why they're heading at this point of the draft. But a solid user to be taking late in the third round and should be a good pick for Toronto.
I do like the render. Very solid render choice. Some good numbers coming out of Newfoundland. 15 goals, 24 assists. Need to work on the plus minus, coming in with a minus 25. And now we're going to have Calgary selecting at pick 68. And that was our seventh trade of the night.
Yeah, so Calgary is going to be taking Junior Chickens, the user sympathies, or 5 empathies. Waiver pickup with decent TP earning and a very high bank account. They went from the last player being Dick Clapper to Junior Chicken. So definitely someone who takes their player name very seriously. Real believer in the maintenance of verisimilitude. But yeah, Junior Chicken, great longtime user, former Hamilton player for a long time. Calgary's got to be excited to get a player like him at this point of the draft and keep them on track and earning. to hopefully be a longtime player of their core.
I wonder if they're going to become friends with the new creates in the S84 class of McDonald's Big Mac and Wendy's Frosty.
I'm pretty sure they're one of them is a sibling and one of them is a cousin. So I don't know if they
So
need to
they
be
do know
friends.
each
They're
other.
related for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. Did not know that. Haven't talked to them yet. Because every time I go to message them, I get hungry and then I go get food. And then I forget. Which brings us up to Montreal at pick 69.
Yeah, so Montreal specifically traded for this pick because CK likes stealing my joke because I did it before him. But the GM player is going to be selected. The Montreal Patriots are going to select Cap Crunch. I don't know why it's a bag of money instead of Captain Crunch. I'm actually very disappointed in this. This is probably the single biggest disappointment of the draft. Honestly, what a complete letdown. He's not even max earning in TPE. Like, he's already behind in TPE. His bank account's kind of mid. Just, what are you doing? Everything about this was awful. Next pick. Let's move on. Pick 70, Seattle. Let's go.
Man, you just won't even. I can't even add comments to it.
Nope. Next pick.
All right, I'm going to type HO real quick about a harassment complaint. Give me a little bit.
Oh, Seattle was a pass, so it's 71, Texas on the clock.
Texas at 71. And we'll see who they're going for. And the pick is in.
And they're going to select Bobby Giraz, the user Jiggly333. Solid TP amount, bank's a little light.
Oh, I got a notification. Nope, never mind. We're good.
That'll bring us up to 72 with the Dragons on the clock.
It was an earlier notification. That's why I said you have to tag me 3 times or I won't notice. like Candyman, you have to say it 3 times before I appear. So Calgary back on the clock, pick 72. This will be the last pick of round number 3. And that pick is in.
Yeah, it's going to be Cujo Pirelli, the user It's Switch, heading to Calgary. The bank is very light. So the bank's solid at 14 million. The TP is very light after being a draft pick, sitting around 100 TP back of the leaders, but that's why they're available at this point of the draft. But could end up being a good pick for the Calgary Dragons.
Has it done season training or training camp yet? So TPE has a chance to shoot up a little bit more. Who did we? And we have lost Tiff, which is not good for me because now I'm going to have to talk through all this. Bank account sitting at 14.5. So Hiff says his internet has went out, so they're going to try to come back. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd round. And Minnesota is going to start us out with the first pick in the 4th round, which is pick 73. I'm not alone, though, because I have Holtz in my ear keeping me company. And I appreciate that. Raj, it is your time to shine. I won't trash you as much as Hiff did, because that's not who I am. So the Minnesota pick is in. With the first pick of the 3rd round, they will be picking Charlie Matthews, the username Baza, out of Thunder Bay. 266 on the TPE. They're a defender, negative 1.5 on the bank account. So really, really light on the bank account, but they do have a chance to build it back up here. They were the I am good, yes. They are a waiver pickup for the Thunder Bay Walleye. So not bad on the TPE being a waiver pickup. And then that's going to bring us to Tampa Bay, who is at pick 74 in the 4th round. Oh, the render was Courtney Eaton, but Mel. This is the render on this one. Raj wanted me to read it, and I saw it in time to do it. So Tampa Bay on the clock at pick 74 here in the 4th round. Courtney Eaton is an Australian actress known for her role in Mad Max Fury Road. Yay! And Tampa Bay's pick is in. They have selected with pick number 74. It is Isaac John, the final 41. User C9 Van out of Kelowna. They were Kelowna's only rookie this season. They 273 on the TPE, 32 million in the bank account. They were a recreate. Very solid pickup here late in the draft for Tampa Bay. And their render, if you cannot tell, is John Wick. If it's not John Wick, it is John Wick, because I'm not trying to get the index to load up as it goes. And that's going to bring us to San Francisco Pride's first pick in this 4th round at pick 75. It is Keanu Reeves, who is John Wick. So I'm still correct. Raj, if you want to drop in, you can drop in. I am perfectly fine with it. It will give me breaks to talk. And the next pick for San Francisco Pride is in, and that's on go to Nelly Selly Jr. out of Anchorage Armada, 219 on the TPE, 1.7 mil on the earning. Was a draft pick last season for 71st overall for the Armada. Has been inactive, unfortunately, in the locker room. Haven't seen him for a couple weeks, but always a chance that they come back. Overall, had a great season for the Armada. We'll see them turning it around there. So next up is going to be Buffalo at 76 passing. Then you have, I believe it's Nashville at 77 who will be passing. And then Toronto at pick 78 passing as well, which brings us to Cincinnati at pick 79. And the pick will be coming in shortly. And the pick is in. It's Damien Pelletier. Username Demastian. They are, the messaging. They do not have a team. 239 on the TPE. Negative million in the bank account. And they were never claimed on waivers. So Cincinnati just trying to fill some spots and taking chances on users that, who knows, they may surprise you. 4th round pick, you're just taking chunks at this. They did recently do their training camp, so they are back. And the render was Charles Hooden. Coming up on the next pick, it is the Denver Glacier Gardens at pick 80. And then we have Buffalo at 81, Hamilton at 82, and these are if they do not pass. And the pick is in. It is Joe McPadstack out of Carolina. The user McBjorner, 247 TPE, 1 million in the bank. Was a very decent user for Carolina. In the
Sorry about
locker
that.
room.
Internet went
And
out.
Hiff is back. Hiff is back.
Yeah, Joe
Welcome back.
McPadstack, one of the goalies of all time, heading to the Denver Glacier Guardians.
Raj says Joe in the chat. And we're coming up on some passes now. It looks like Buffalo has passed. Hamilton is now on the clock. After Hamilton, you have Winnipeg passing, Texas passing, Chicago passing, and Philadelphia passing. Pass is going to a lot of teams.
Yeah, a lot of people just taking the pass. But we have, I think you said Hamilton was on the clock next?
Yep, Hamilton is on the clock. The hamsters powering Hiff's computer did get tired.
First of all, they are guinea pigs, not hamsters. Watch Hamtaro and learn the difference. But yeah, that's true.
Hamilton passed, so now Tampa Bay is on the clock, and Tampa Bay's pick will be coming in shortly. And after Tampa Bay's pass, we have Manhattan passing, Toronto passing, and Hamilton passing. And the pick is in. Go ahead, Hiff.
Yeah, they are selecting Maverick. The user Hades is good. TP and bank basically non-existent. Goalie with a player render, so no pads unless it's the goalie in the background there. Maybe it's the Calgary player that's the actual render. Yeah, they'll be heading to Tampa Bay.
The render team has a strict rule of if you make a goalie your render, you're a goalie. If you make a non-goalie your render as a goalie, you're not a goalie. So I like it. They mean business when they do that. And their render is Mav, the is. And that's going to bring us to the next pick, which is San Francisco.
And the San Francisco Pride are going to take Mashop to Devil Walk. The user Saitara. No SMJHL team at the moment. Bank is pretty decent at 8 million, and TB is moderately okay, especially for a waiver pickup.
That is the pick. And that is going to bring us down to Atlanta, I believe. Yep, so Atlanta is going to be on the clock at pick 95. And I wonder who this is going to be. There he is. Yep, I knew that's who it was.
Yeah, and the Atlanta Inferno are taking Cameron Urchin Mullen. The user Hot Dog. The player name, abbreviated as CUM.
Yep.
Max earning TP with 89 million in the bank. The GM selection heading to his team. Should be an excellent pick. Atlanta's a great team. Go Atlanta, as Mikul says.
Yep. The user Glizzy. Used
User
to be
Hot Dog. Yeah. Hot
me and him
dog,
had
some might say.
Me and him had some fun on the PTs this season between our users. We had a lot of inside PTs going, and it was a blast. So Hot Dog was always going to Atlanta, and they got their pick. And I think, is that it? Denver's up next. And Denver's pick is in.
And the Denver Glacier Guardians take Zhuizhu. The user is Zachary Gerhard. 218 TP with 1.8 million in the bank. Both very low, but hopefully they can get him returned to active. Heading to the Denver Glacier Guardians.
Yep. And that pick was made in the 5th round, believe it or not. And that brings us back to Tampa Bay, who are picking after a long list to pass.
There's a team known for wanting to take every single player in the draft just to make specifically my life a living hell. It is Tampa Bay. You got to respect Dwight's commitment to this specific bit.
Gotta do it.
And at pick, who knows at this goddamn point? It's so damn late. They are selecting finish the job. The user Nuke Bomb. TP and Bank are a little light. Kind of trailed off after getting taken 27th by Ottawa, but hopefully can get him back and earning at the left defense position for the Tampa Bay Barracuda.
That should have honestly been the last pick of the draft. That would have been a good one to finish on.
Yep.
For pick 136. 136, I believe it is. Nope, it's 112. Yeah, sorry, getting ahead of myself on that one. They all run together. And now, Denver Glacier Guardians back on the clock. And that pick will be in. I think somebody should pick a different username than Pass. It's way too common.
Yeah. And the Denver Glacier Guardians are taking their general manager, Migo Rashford II. Rashford, you. Bank's a little light, especially for someone you're taking so high in the draft. But the TP's been max earning coming from the Yukon Malamutes. Love the Lego render. I think it's fantastic. Something Rashford is known for. Great person and gets to go to his expansion team that he was given this season. So enjoy GMing your team, Rashford.
You have to be concerned about having that light of a bank account as a GM for all the fines that you face.
Yeah, I mean, with so many other great choices available in this draft at this point, I don't know why you'd take him there.
And we're back on the clock with Tampa Bay. And this is going to be one of the last ones. And the pick is in.
And the Tampa Bay Barracuda are taking Peanut Butter, the user Peanut Butter 37. No TP and no money. It explains why they went so low. And this is the Bo Horvats. We've had like 6 Bo Horvat renders at this point.
So I am being told that that is the last pick.
Perfect. Well, that's the conclusion of the S83 Shl Entry Draft. I hope you all enjoyed for listening. Congrats to everyone who got drafted. I hope you enjoy your new teams and have long, productive careers with them. And excited to see where all of you go and how this draft will go down in the annals of history.
Yes, thank you to Hiff for running the show. Thank you to Holtz fan for being the background, running all those graphics, and thank you, Kari, for doing all the sheets.
And thank you, Patrick, for co-hosting with me and keeping me sane.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate it. Good night, SHL.